What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are on a fantastic day today. And today we have the GeminiJets 1-400 scale March 2021 tier list rankings for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today we have finally received the initial pictures, the stock photos from GeminiJets of the March 2021 releases. I really hope you guys are excited as I am, as this is absolutely unbelievable. As this release, man, where do I even begin? We have made a few videos on the subject. We even did a live stream, and I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed that. So thank you guys so much for coming to that the other day. Today, we are going to be doing the tier list rankings. I'll save all the talking for the end. There may be a little ramble at the end, but we have a lot to get into today, my friends. So we're not going to waste any time, and we will begin. Here we are in Tier Maker. Got a lot of elements to go over today, everybody. I hope you guys are excited. Not going to waste any time. We'll save all that talking for the end. Let's begin right here with, man, this release. Where do I even begin? We'll kind of just periodically do it. We'll actually do it in alphabetical order just to save some of the amazing elements in between. So what a release. Let's begin with the Aerojet International Boeing 767-300 freighter in the 1-400 scale. This is November 349, Charlie Mike. These are actually the Instagram pictures, so I apologize if they're a little lower res. I didn't feel like saving the other ones, but I probably should have, so my apologies. Anyways, so this model is looking really, really sharp. One thing that you'll probably notice right off the bat is, isn't the livery typically darker? Yes, it is, but due to the extreme amount of Photoshop GeminiJets continues to use on these photos, it's going to have one huge optical illusion way down in this video on another model. I think that they got the colors right here. This looks really, really nice. Let's take a look at its real life counterpart as it is right here. As you can tell, it's much darker, but I believe it is the lighting situation of Gemini's photos in that Photoshop combined. Taking a look at what I gave it, 16.5 for the mold, pretty solid. That 767 mold is always very solid. Should put F, my bad. 17 for the color, 14 for the details, 95%. Definitely saving a lot of talking for the main four that you guys know that I'm going to be talking about. But that's an awesome model. I hope you guys are able to get it. I wish that model would have came in a more diverse set, I guess. Like that would have fit really good in February, but hey, not complaining. That's an awesome model. Highly recommend it if you do want it. Really, really nice model right there, and super excited for it. Next up, oh my gosh, we're gonna do it. The GeminiJets 1-400 scale Delta Connection Bombardier CRJ-900 second release. GeminiJets, where do I even begin with this thing? This is literally phenomenal. As you guys probably know, I do have that first iteration as I put it up to the camera, if you guys can see that. Unbelievable model. It is super, super nice. And this one, 12 years later, very, very similar. So this one is a SkyWest model. Back in the day, that one was made by Comair, but actually that one now is with SkyWest. I did get to see that Tulsa a few weeks ago, so that was really cool. A21 I have seen before, at least once. It was in one of my Minneapolis shots, tail lineups, but I may have seen it even more than that. Phenomenal work, man. Very impressed. It's kind of like a clone almost, just put a different tail number on it. Not too many elements too different. Got the Delta Connection titles, got the nose cone looking good. This nose landing gear looks slightly different. SB Aviator said that it kind of looks like the American Eagle CRJ 700 nose that they did back in 15, and I definitely see that looking really good. Phenomenal detail. Delta Connection titles looking awesome. You got the winglets. Very glad to see that they still have the awesome slanted winglet 900 mold. They definitely could easily do a Mesa or a PSA with this mold. Mesa has the upright winglets, like the normal ones, like CRJ 700 has, and they also have the slanted winglets like this. So yeah, man, just look at this thing. Great detail throughout. Believe it or not, this one's very similar. Just taking a look at it, just comparing right here. The Delta font up here looks slightly different and maybe a little bit more stretched out, but besides that, I mean, it's very similar. And then you got the different registration, of course. Engines look very similar as well, just looking at it. That looks super similar, man. There's really not too many differences, which is perfectly fine. We just needed another one, and Gemini did that for us. Phenomenal. Best model of the release, in my opinion, in terms of how nice the model is. This GeminiJet's killing it with these RJs. And I'll kind of make some points later in the video that they had some issues on a couple of models, in my opinion. But this is what I'm talking about. I really hope you guys are able to get yours. I only have plans on keeping one, two maybe even pushing it at this point. We'll see, but however many come in, my goal is mainly just to keep one. I'm not trying to hog them up. The American, I'm going to have a hard time. I'm not sure how I'm going to be able to, if they do it, of course. I guess I would just really like one, but I know a lot of people, if I did anything more than 2 or 3, would just lose their minds. So I'm not sure what I should do, but I'm going to try my best. But nevertheless, that's irrelevant. This Delta, GeminiJets, thank you, literally. Phenomenal. 17 for the mold, 17 for the color, 14 for the details, 98%. GJ has done it. GJ has done it. They finally have. Definitely try to snag it up if you can. Really glad to see another iteration of the Delta Connection Mitsubishi CRJ 900. Phenomenal model, GeminiJets. You guys nailed it. That is amazing. What even to say? I'm so excited for that to come in. Very excited. And when it gets here, we'll definitely be doing videos on it, of course. But man, so excited to pair up with 679. It's going to be a phenomenal addition, and I'm super excited. Hopefully I can get one, but we'll see. Next up, we have the Frontier Airbus A321 Steve the Eagle. I have seen this aircraft in real life. It's a beautiful airplane, and GeminiJets finally decided to do a Frontier A321. I do go into detail about what I think Gemini will do in the future in that conspiracy theory video I did. It's a longer one, but I hope you guys enjoy it if you guys did choose to watch it. It's still out there if you guys would like to watch it, but let's take a look at this thing. Okay, you got your cockpit windows and the Steve the Eagle titles. This mold, we've been here, we've seen it. It's rough. The CFMs are pretty large. But as of for the actual livery, they did a pretty good job on it from the looks of it. Is Steve the Eagle supposed to be in the middle? I kind of forgot. It's been a while. The tail looks a little pale. I honestly feel like it's that Photoshop that Gemini continues to do on these models, on these pictures, of course. But looking really sharp. I saw this back in July was it July 15th, 2017, I think was the day, at Chicago O'Hare. I got no clue where I was going. Probably Denver, maybe. This is phenomenal. Just look at this thing. Besides the engines, absolute unit. They did an awesome job with this guy, and I'm super excited to see how it comes out. Taking a look at the aircraft, the mold is rough, like we talked about. Nose, landing gear, fuselage width, and of course the engines. 12.5, I feel like it's pretty fair. I did bump it up slightly from the Delta, thank you, due to the QC being better lately. But hopefully no more issues with QC. 16 for the color. It's that tail that I'm just really interested to see. It could be Photoshop, could be a little washed out, we'll see. 14 for the details. 85%, that's pretty solid for an Airbus narrow body for GJ. It definitely gets its good. Not bad at all, and I'm really excited to see how that thing turns out and arrives on property. Great job, GeminiJets. I'm super excited to see what's up next with these ultra low-cost carriers. Very exciting. Alrighty. Jet2 Holidays, Boeing 757-200. This is definitely one of the most interesting in terms of how good it is, I guess, if you will. Taking a look up here, we got your cockpit windows. They've changed that nose shape a little bit. The older one I felt like was better, but what can you do? You got the Jet2 Holiday titles. You got the R1 door, R2, and the L's would be on that side. You got the Jet2 Holidays on the engine here. You got the blue, and the blue looks good, I feel like. Now, what I'm having a hard time distinguishing with how much saturation's on this photo is this yellow and what seems to be in this, like a really dark orange. I got no clue what actual color it is. Now, I got a variety of pictures pulled up here of the aircraft on Google, as you can see. As you guys can tell from initial impression, there's a lot of different colors here. The GJ model looks kind of similar to this, but then at the same time, you got pictures like that make you wonder what the heck actually happened. So in the score, I gave quite a bit of slack because of how much it varies and the Photoshop making it very hard to tell. One thing that is consistent that I do feel like I feel like it's going to be a little light, and here's why. Multiple angles like this, as you can see, have a more middish yellow on top of a more middish orange-red color, as you can tell. Obviously, it's very hard to tell, but one thing that we can notice is this is super light, as we can see right here. Therefore, I have a theory that I feel like it is going to be a little too light. And that blue shade as well does look darker, so that is one thing to consider. And it could just be the Photoshop. Maybe it's actually kind of decent. But this gradient, I feel like, is definitely a little bit off here. I feel like they definitely went a little too far. Overall, it's not the worst model in the world, but it's definitely, I've seen a lot better than that. And its score will reflect that. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Allegiant 319. Yeah, so if you guys didn't know, Jet2 Holidays is a very big low-cost carrier in Europe. Kind of like Allegiant for us, if you know what I mean. So, taking a look over here at their score. 16 for the mold, 14 for the color. You know, in some days you could do 11 if it's really bad. Other days you could do closer to 15. But I think 14 is about the right spot considering the color may be okay, but that gradient is really where it worries me. Then you got 14 for the details, 88%. Again, another solid model, but I feel like they could have tried a little bit harder, especially on that gradient. But really hard to tell from that, but I feel like the weedway was very well deserved there for that model right there. Just making sure clouds aren't coming in because we got another video to record. Not storyline, but there's an unboxing in the back. Anyways, okay. Really excited for this model. This is the Kalitta Charters 2 Boeing 727-200 in the 1:400 scale. The Gemini 200 one looked awesome. I'm really glad to see that they decided to do it in the 1:400 scale as well. So this 727 mold, to my knowledge, of 1:400 has never been debuted, but this one has probably rolling landing gear and then, of course, antenna. So let's take a more in-depth look. The cockpit windows and then the nice red, darker red, and the gray shade throughout. Kalitta Charter second. This is the non-winglet. They do have a winglet one, if I'm not mistaken, as well. The winglet one's made its way over to Tulsa multiple times. I think non-winglet may have been here too. I'm not sure. So looking really sharp right here. Got the 3 engines right here. I really like the design of the 727 and I'm very excited to get this one as well. I did decide to order it and hopefully it comes in and all good and everything. Was pushing the budget a little bit, but I felt like it was worth it. Now this gray as well, another thing, like we've talked about multiple times, these colors tend to come out very light in Gemini's pictures because of the ultimate saturation and everything. And it's a very light gray. But I feel like the shade's going to be more of like this middish gray right here as we see through the stripe. My score reflects that for sure. Sorry for not showing all these pictures. Here's the Delta CRJ9. That thing's phenomenal. So pumped for that. Here's Steve the Eagle. That's kind of what I was talking about with the tail. But like I said, it could have just got washed out. Jet2 Holidays we went over, and here's the Kalitta. As you can see, it's a much darker gray, but like I was saying, it's that Photoshop that's making the optical illusion as usual with GJ. You got the 17 for the mold, 16.5 for the color, 14 for the details, 95%. That's an awesome model. Highly recommend it if you guys have the budget or if you missed out on getting an order in time. That one's probably still around, so that's a massive recommend. But great job, GJ. Super excited for that, and glad to finally see a 727 in a 1:400 scale at long last. SAS, Scandinavian Airlines, Airbus A321neo, the Panda models did this one as well. I believe it was the same tail number. So this model is looking really sharp. Now, there's not many pictures of the SAS, or this particular registration. I should have looked up another A321neo that's a little newer. So I could have found some nicer shots of it. But I was able to just kind of take all the insight of all these online, as you can see. So this one's in the sun, which is kind of shows off what we got going here with the white fuselage as it changes colors per lighting situation. Everything's looking really sharp here. A couple things that I noticed: this blue trim on the engine seems slightly big. It could just be an optical illusion, but not too bad. SAS titles, they look a little light to me. Like I said, that could be Photoshop as well. That's a great question. We'll have to see how that one comes out, but I feel like it's a little light. And then this little light blue section on the tail, from what I have observed, is not on the livery. So I'm not sure, unless if I'm dreaming. And then here's that Panda Models one, I believe. As you can see, it doesn't have it. It's all gray. That one looks really good. Maybe that gray is even a little dark. We'll see. But anyways, really excited for that. That's going to be a nice model. If anybody missed out on that Panda Model one, that they want this one. 13.5 for the mold, 16.5 for the color, 14 for the details, brings us out to 88%. Another solid Airbus narrow body from GJ. They've got a little better with those, but 3 goods. Jet2 Holidays, and then you got the 2 Airbus narrow bodies. It's kind of where you're going to be with those. But what can I say? Kind of rough for sure. Most certainly a little bit rough. So yeah, really excited for what's to come with that. And to anybody getting it, let me know how it is. I'll be excited to hear about it. Okay, we got the Southwest Airlines 737-700 Desert Gold 1. I was super pumped for this, and quite frankly, I'm not the most surprised, or I'm not like over the, how should I word this? I'm not just crazy shocked with how it ended up turning out, but I'll talk about why I'm not the absolute most disappointed with this here in a moment. Alrighty, so let's begin up here at the cockpit. Actually, we'll just review the model in a minute. Let's talk about the main things with the problem. First and foremost, as I'm sure you guys can tell, that color. So the main thing that's really agitating here is that gloss. That's the gloss that they use on those wide bodies, like we see with the American wide bodies and all those. They're back to using that gloss again, and now it's on narrow bodies, which is really rough to see. Isn't going to cut it. There's no gloss in this livery. It's not a glossy livery. It's matte. It's a matte desert gold livery. It's not gloss. So why are we doing gloss? Like, really? Next up, you got the winglets. The winglets are supposed to cut off right here, not right here. That's like something Darren would do. Come on, Gemini. It's not that hard. You're telling me you've done 6 Southwest models in the last 2 years, and you've done every winglet right, and then randomly you decide to make this, and then add a metallic color too, or sorry, gloss color, and then screw up the winglets too. Like, that's poor. That isn't going to cut it. Icing on the cake is we got that Illinois 1 and Louisiana 1 mold with the raised up nose landing gear height, and on top of that, the cockpit window shape. Isn't going to cut it. That's not going to work. Now, the Photoshop is making the color look richer, which makes it look darker. However, the gloss isn't going to cut it. It's not a glossy livery, so why are we doing gloss? Another thing that I noticed, it looks like the engine right here is tilted up, just like we were talking about. Isn't going to cut it. I mean, this whole thing, this is Now, the good news though is I have a gut feeling that NG will do this one at some point and absolutely thump this one for sure. I do have one of these on order, of course, but I feel like NG will definitely absolutely thump that. They're going to do a much better job than whatever that thing is. I honestly feel like Darren would be able to compete with that because whatever that is, really sad because I was so pumped for that. That was going to be such a nice livery. Everything else looks pretty solid. Just not very impressed. Isn't going to cut it. They should have went back to the old mold. They knew better than that. It's like if something comes out wrong on the colors, they're like, we don't care and we're just going to do it anyways. And that's the problem with GJs. They continue to just miss these details that really need to be right, especially on a non-Euro white. Like, the tail is the right shade. Like, it doesn't have any gloss on it from what it looks like. But all this gloss, and I know it's not going to be near as bad when we have the model on hand with not as much saturation on it, but I mean that doesn't change the fact that it's going to be pitiful when it comes to having gloss on the main color of the fuselage. That's poor. Not impressed with that. Definitely, in my opinion, the absolute worst model overall in terms of what it ended up being. In terms of the option, it was definitely top 3 on the options. In terms of what it turned out to be, the worst on the list for sure. Too many errors, and I'm sure there's more to come. I will be eager to see if that does have the second antenna down there. We'll see. Quite frankly, patiently waiting for the NG1. This is a blow, and that isn't going to cut it. We'll take a look at the score. It's rough. We got 15.5 for the mold, 12.5 for the color. That's one of the lowest color grades I've ever gave because that's garbage. You don't put gloss on something that's metallic. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is metallic. Or sorry, that is matte. Every picture, there's a few sequences, like I don't have it pulled up, but there's a few sequences where it comes out a little more rich. By no means does the dang plane have gloss on it. Absolutely not. And GJ, that's not going to cut it. You guys know better. You guys have done plenty of these liveries now, and quite frankly, your guys' 2005 renditions were much better in terms of the color than that. I'm not going to keep ranting. It's very frustrating, as I'm sure you guys can tell by my expressions. That's really just massive letdown for such a cool model. You're telling me that you're going to make 5 awesome Southwest models in a row, and then this is going to happen. Absolute dumpster fire. Not much more to say besides I'm very disappointed, and I'm very excited to see NG models or maybe a Panda Models exclusive or something because whatever that is garbage. Not impressed. That is a massive letdown. And yeah, I'm sure it will be slightly better when it gets on property, but for the expectation with this, no. Not going to cut it. Absolutely not. And Gemini, you're letting models that you guys did 20 years ago outdo stuff that you're doing today. For what, $37 compared to $23? Get out of here. We're going to give you guys a C on that. That's garbage. Not going to cut it. Not impressed. Come on, Gemini. You guys continue to have issues. you're going to make one absolute killer release, and then you're going to continue to tank these models. Like, come on. You guys did so much better in January and February in terms of getting the colors right, and then you got some issues here. Like, come on, guys. It's not that hard. And it's not the Photoshop. If anybody wants to say Photoshop makes a difference, well, obviously. But in terms of the gloss, no, you're going to be able to notice the gloss. And I got my American Heavies back there to back it up. Yes, sure, it may not be as bad when it arrives, and especially in non-sunlight conditions. That doesn't cut it, though. That doesn't change the fact that that's off. And most of the time, it comes out at least 2 or 3 shades lighter than that. And there's only a few sequences where it comes out that rich of color. Gemini, not impressed. And it's not just the color, too. You got the mold issues. You got the winglets. You got the crooked engine. I mean, no. There's too many factors. It definitely is beyond the average model. That's what GeminiJets is known for. Not impressed. But what I am, or not expressed, but I'm being a Acer J-200 on the behalf of SkyWest Airlines. This was a former PSA one that SkyWest just picked up. This is hilarious because you guys literally go from having massive issues to making one of the best models that you guys have made in a long time with the Delta, and this one included. This is what I was going to get at. Honestly, like I said, I'm not as disappointed with the Southwest and the Frontier as well to a degree because Gemini is the only company that can do these U.S. regionals when they choose to do them, whether that's a 2-year interval or whatever it is. When they choose to do them, they actually can do a good job. And this is what I'm talking about. NG doesn't have those molds yet, and I'm sure they will at some point, but for right now, they don't. GJ is the only person that can do it. If they're going to do some aircraft right that we desperately need, this is what we got to have done right, and GJ nailed it. This is not the new JC Wings 1-400 mold. This is the one that they've had, the one that used that Air Canada. Honestly, it's okay. I would have liked to see that new mold, but not gonna lose too much sleep over it. Interesting that they did add all the antennas and stuff on CGI though. Absolute unit, man. They did their work, man. One thing that I've noticed is, I'm sure you guys noticed with the 7810 and 789, the Evo Blue tail also came out much lighter, like this. However, from what I've heard and seen on videos and stuff, it comes out more like it's supposed to, like the A319 and stuff, which I'm very glad to see that. And I feel like it definitely comes out much better than what I, what I gave it credit for, and I'm very, very glad to see that. A lot better shape. Phenomenal unit. This is going to help for a lot of people that want this model. Obviously, it's arguably one of the worst civil aircraft out there, but it doesn't. I mean, this doesn't change the fact that it looks phenomenal. Evo Blue goes hard, and Gemini made a great choice to make this model. Now, I'm super pumped for it. Hopefully I can get a few, but we'll see what happens. Aviation 18 is going to love this little guy. It's going to be an awesome addition to his Dulles model airport and then all the requested updates. Absolute phenomenal little aircraft. All the details looked really, really nice. This logo, I'm not sure what it is. I couldn't find a picture of the right side of the aircraft. Awesome. Great job. The blue looks sharp. Winglet shape is the only thing that's a little bugging, but ultimately, phenomenal little airplane. That's going to be an awesome addition, and I'm super, super impressed with that. 16.5 for the mold, 17 for the color, 14 for the details, 95%. Gemini, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm really glad to see that. And you know, this is one thing to also note. Take a look at the models that they have done perfect on compared to the models they've done good or even in this case average on. Every model that they've done perfect, as you can see right here, is models that not many other companies are willing to do. The regional jets especially, but also the Kalita 727 and the Emirajet 767. And you know, if that's to the point where we're at with GJs, where they're only going to give an effort on stuff that they're the only company that they can make, or that they're the only guys that can make those models, amen. We can work with that. These 4 down here, everybody else has potential to make it. This one's been made. NG can make that if they wanted to, vice versa, and vice versa. And you could also throw into the picture, like, I don't know if JC would be willing to do it, but they have the same mold, so it's kind of what it is on that. I don't know if somebody could do a Panda exclusive on that, but I'm sure it's possible. Vice versa for Desert. So ultimately, if GJ really just wants to give an effort on stuff that they can only do, amen. We can rock with that. That's the good part about this, because ultimately, when I saw that Southwest, obviously I was a little disappointed, like everybody was. But in retrospective, NG is likely going to do it, and they're going to absolutely demolish it. And I'm really pumped for it. And if GJ has to pick models to get right, do stuff that nobody else can make, especially these regional jets. And I'm pumped. That's awesome. Great job, GJ. massive thumbs up there. And if that's the meta that we got to live with, amen. Last but certainly not least, we have our only Gemini Max model of the month. This is the, what was it? NATO 332 MRTT. And once again, a really cool model. Now, NG, I think theoretically could do this one if they wanted to, but this is kind of where we're at with that. So we talked about this mold many times. It does have some significant wing flex, and the engines are a little wonky, and the nose is kind of different. Besides that, really, really nice. Glad to see that they did a nice job up here on the color. That's looking really sharp right there, and I'm very impressed with it. These Gemini Max models always tend to be really, really good, especially in terms of detail, and this definitely showcases a lot of that. Very impressed, Gemini. I gotta give you guys a lot of credit. These Gemini Max models have not been coming broken from what I've seen. So with all these antennas and stuff. So give you guys a massive thumbs up there. That's really nice to see. And this is a nice little unit right here. Now, I don't think NG's done this particular airframe yet, but I'm sure they may at some point. So if you guys may want to hold out or request that to them, that's what I would do. But if you guys just really want the model now, highly recommend it. And it's a neat model. You got a lot of antennas, of course, and then you got a nice mid-gray livery. I do like that. Very similar to the wing color. That looks really cool. So yeah, ultimately, very, very cool airplane. Taking a look at these real-life pictures, that Evo Blue 200, super hot. All credit to these respected photographers as usual. And then here's the registration is TU055 for this guy. Looks really, really good. Lots of phenomenal detail. And taking a look at the score, the last one of the video, 15.5 for the mold, 17 for the color, 14 for the details, brings us out to a nice 93%. Oh, we kind of made a like a backwards staircase type thing, really, like a diving board. We pretty much just made a diving board. That's really, really neat. I didn't think that we were going to do that, but hey, what can I say? So yeah, guys, that will do it. Man, wow, unreal. The Southwest is definitely disappointing, but like I made many points out throughout the video, we will get another one of those, I'm sure. So I'm very, very excited. If I have to, I'll find a Panama Models exclusive myself, and we'll have that done. Just kidding, but hopefully somebody will do it. NG, calling your name. The Frontier Jet 2 Holidays and SAS, pretty solid overall. The Frontier, I'm going to be very interested to see as well. Those are the main two that I'm very interested to see. The Delta and United are absolutely perfect. The Frontier and Southwest, I'm going to be very interested to see those IRL, as they should arrive soon, which I'm very pumped about. Frontier is going to be interesting. Hopefully no QC issues. We can't stand any more of those, so hopefully they get that figured out. Jet 2 Holidays, interesting choice from the model, and as for the livery, I feel like they definitely could have done a little bit better, but not the worst thing in the world. SAS, not too bad either. Going to be interested to see how that SAS titles comes out. Could just be the Photoshop, but we'll have to see. You got the Jet. That's an awesome model if you do want that. It does go to some airports around the U.S. Definitely get that. That's a really cool model. Delta and United, absolutely phenomenal. I'm so pumped for that. That's going to be definitely probably the highlight of the year, unless if something else comes in and beats it, which is going to take a lot. But man, absolute phenomenal. 727, another awesome unit. That's going to be a great addition, especially for retro guys that really want a 727 with that newer mold. Very, very excited to see that. And then finally, the MRTT, as we covered. Not a bad little choice right there. And Gemini Max continues to stride at all levels. Man, I'm really, really excited. If you want some more in-depth some more in-depth elaboration, and then on top of that, we talked with the chat in that live stream. You guys can watch the first 30 minutes is when I covered the GeminiJets models in that live stream. So yeah, really, really excited. This is going to be phenomenal. They'll be arriving soon. I'm really, really pumped for it. And then if anybody's wondering about live streams, I do have plans on doing more of those. Probably not going to do too much actually during the actual live stream besides browse the web and kind of look at pictures and models and stuff. But it will mainly just be a talking stream, which I think is going to handle really well with my internet situation. I'm very, very excited to get it rolling. It's going to be very fun to do. So yeah, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Really excited to see what goes down here. Hopefully the shafting isn't too bad, but what can I say? The Delta, I feel like there's going to be no way it's not going to be horrible for some places, but we'll have to see. Nevertheless, guys, wow. April's going to be a big month for GJ. We will see what they do. We may have I think it's going out Saturday. We'll see. So maybe we have models as soon as next Tuesday. We will see. But it's going to be an absolute crazy ride from here. And Gemini definitely did some interesting stuff. but I feel like we may be starting a new era, and they at least got the models that we absolutely had to have right. So yeah, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm super excited to get these in the post, and it's going to be a phenomenal sequence from here. Just getting 2021 started, getting the world back on track right now after, or not even close to after, but during the pandemic, of course. And we're really, really excited to see what turns out from here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.